it's Amelie. Today we're going to practice Syrinx by Debussy. If you want to know more about the story of Syrinx, you can go and check on our channel. There is a video about the story of Syrinx. It's going to be in the description below if you want to see the link. Because there's a story to it. It's part of mythology, the Greek mythology. So, if you look at to begin with, you should look at the key. So there are 5 flats. So it's easier to think there are 2 notes that are not flat than to think about all your flats. So you go C and F are not flat; they're natural. All the other notes are flat. So that's it for that. Then another thing is that sometimes people play it very, very freely because it has to sound improvised. But I think that Debussy knew what he wanted, and his writing is quite precise. So you should be able to play it in rhythm. And after that, maybe you add to it, but not too much, because it's beautiful, it's self-explanatory, and it doesn't need to be, I don't think I have, I just try to respect that. So, yeah, I'll start playing it. If you have any question during the live stream about that piece, just put them in the comments, and I'll answer them right away. If there are other questions about other topics, I will answer them after I finished playing this piece. So I think today I would like to play it once with the metronome, just to make sure I can play those rhythms well. Très modéré means very moderate, so very slow, So what I've lost my music that I've been playing on when I learned it when I was younger. So right now I just took it apart and I don't have anything written on it, so I have to start from scratch. And also, if you want to print the music to follow along, there's a link in the description. So yeah, maybe that's 50. I'll try it and see how. Anyways, I'm not gonna practice it with the metronome all the time. You see at the end of the first line there's a fermata, so that's a fermata of your breath. It's not on the note, it's more like a little silence there. Okay, that's interesting. I think that's way too fast. You see, you have a crescendo and then a piano, so I'm gonna look at that. So beginning is mezzo forte, then there's nothing else, so I guess I'm still mezzo forte when I go to the second line. Yeah, okay. But I guess when I learn it, maybe I would put the metronome for each 8 note, because just be precise with the rhythm. I'll try it. That's 80. So and now I'll try to be more I'll focus on the dynamics and also on the rhythm. That's good when you practice, to give yourself precise goals, so you know what you're doing, and just not killing time. Okay, so I took from the third line because I made a mistake there. So, yeah, third line. Maybe I'll give a little tongue on the little tonguing on that G flat. The I have the word on the tip of my tongue. The ornament there. Now it's a bit faster, so I'll do a tiny bit faster. 92. And when I go to the second bar on that line, I'll try to do a different color because it's the same thing. I want to mix it, not be too much the same. Oh yeah, you have a B double flat, so it's an A. You see here, if you're not comfortable moving your pinky on the second page, second line, the last bar, you have D flat and then another D flat. You can go and slide it, or you can just leave it there. It won't really change anything. Okay. As you see, if I put my metronome by each 8 note, when I do the triplets, it becomes 2 against 3. So if you find it too difficult, then just put it per quarter note. Like, let's say, I'll do it at 50. I thought it was a bit too slow. But then I'll play it after without the metronome. We'll see what it... So third line of the second page. Ooh, that's a big interval. I'll try to make it more full. You see here, I have no choice but to put it there or it won't be the right note, and I think it's... Well. Oh, that was better. So I played it a bit softer the first note, and then at the very end I made my crescendo more on the E flat than really in between the two notes. Okay, so I have to make sure my pinky moves at the same time as my index finger here. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, it's been a while. I'll put the metronome again, just to make sure I relearn it right. Okay, so here for the trill, you use the two spatulas here. Okay, so you go E flat, then you leave that, you go on your D flat, and then you do the two spatulas. And then for the G sharp, you just move your index for the next one. So that was just to bring it back in my memory. Any question about that? No? Okay, so now I'm going to play it without the metronome. What did I want to say at the end? Oh yeah, at the end, if you see in the last line, you have piano, and then, okay, on the B natural. And you see you have an accent on the, not the last one, but the one before, on that B. So you have a B that you keep, and then you have an accent. What I do is that I start vibrating there, only on the accent. So I don't vibrate for 2 beats, and then on the third beat I vibrate. I do like this. Yeah, you heard it. You know, I'll do it again. Okay, now for the vocabulary. Okay, so in the beginning you have très modéré, which means very moderate, so slowly. Then third line you have retenu. Retenu means retain, like, so it really means ritardendo, you know. Then un peu mouvementé, mais très peu means a little bit more movement, but just very little. Then cédé on the second page, cédé means again just to rallentendo or ritardendo. Then rubato, you know, it means to move the tempo. So that's why I say you have to be pretty strict, not too strict, you know, it's solo flute and everything. You don't want to sound like you're nervous or stressed or whatever. But if he writes rubato there, it's because there he wants you to play a little bit with the rhythm, go faster and slower. And you can do rubato pretty much everywhere, but you have to remember that what you take somewhere, you have to give back. You know, it has to have some type of logic to it. So you go a bit faster, then you go a bit slower. But first you have to be able to play it in rhythm. So that rubato is your choice. It's not just because you don't really know your rhythm. Okay, then when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line, you have au mouvement. It means same like tempo 1, très modéré. And then en retenant jusqu'à la fin, the last, so it's retaining until the end, so it means slower and slower until the end. And très retenu means very ritardendo. And then perdendo aussi means like you're losing the sound almost. You can barely hear it. Okay, I'm going to try to play that. Nicolas, can I lower my chair because I'm not comfortable? People see me still? Okay. Okay. Really, I would play that standing. It's weird to play that sitting down. I'm not comfortable in that chair. It's not, I never play on that thing. Okay. Okay. When you practice that, you can practice singing. If it might help open your sound. I'll do just one line so you can hear just one phrase. Doesn't even have to be perfect. I try to sing the same notes, of course. And you hear in the beginning I started an octave lower and then I couldn't go lower, so I went back an octave higher. That doesn't matter. So that helps with your sound, with having a rich sound. So that was the first big phrase. Another thing that would be helpful with that piece, because there's a lot of decrescendo and ending of phrases, and you know we all have a tendency to get low on these end of phrases, so I would use our good old friend the tuner, just to make sure you're in the zone. Doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, but at least it gives you a visual indication, and then you can memorize that with the sound, you know, just be very attentive. I'll do the second part, like a couple of phrases like that. So I'll go from where I finished, sir. Mistake there. I didn't even check my thing. I was so focused on the music, I got carried away. I didn't even check my tuner. I'll go from there and I'll check it a little bit. So from rubato. I guess I'm a bit low in general, but also I'm in the low register, so who knows? Now my tuner is in the way. So really I have to push it up in the low register because it's a lot of piano in the low register, so I'll be careful with that. Then yeah, you see there's little spots that you might have to work on, those just play them again and again in loops, you know. Start slowly. Make sure you don't learn bad notes because there's a lot of accidentals. And yeah, those little parts. But after a while, it's very well written for the flute, that piece. Should I play the whole thing through, or it's pretty good right now, like for learning it? Any comments? Any?
People are just reading, watching through it, reading with alongside you.
Okay.
Music. Maybe play one time if you want.
So I'll try to go through it. I'm not sure it's gonna be.
How do you hit the high notes?
The high notes. There's not that many high notes. It doesn't go much higher than well, there's the E flat in the beginning, and it's piano, so that's a bit of a challenge.
And just the how to get like a more singing quality, like that singing and playing at the same time helps. You know, like how to make it more vocal. You know, more vocal.
Because when you sing in your flute, you make it resonate the same note inside, and you know, it's like you're in sync with your instrument. So then you try to do the same thing when you're not singing, but using really mock singing while you're playing.
Do you think that it's more warm, dark tone for this piece, like warm vibrato, warm stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a sad story. It's a sad piece. It's loss and not knowing how to love and crushing your love. It's all about that, you know.
Maybe play through one more time and
Yeah.
you can answer one question.
And yeah, for high register, one thing I could tell you, if you have difficulties hitting the high notes, and you see the words we use are very important, because hitting the right notes, I feel that you're visualizing the high notes higher than yourself, because you want to hit those high notes. And what I would tell you is never visualize notes that are higher than your shoulder. Just it's a visualization thing, but it will help you to blow the air in the right spot. Because if you try to go, let's say, you know, now I'm not putting the air inside the flute. I'm trying to hit those high notes, you know, but they're not there. They're under me. The flute, everything's under. So visualize the low register maybe at your knees, and then middle around your waist, and then your chest area would be your high register. You don't need to go there. That might help you tremendously.
Like where to blow, you mean? That's basically kind of like that. Because a lot of people think I may blow up higher as well. So that's good visualization.
Yeah. Or you visualize like this, you know, but everything has to be under you. That might help. Because when we use words, they mean something. If you said hitting those notes, maybe you're visualizing it that way. Try it and tell me if it helped. So I'll try to play it through with humility, because I haven't practiced that except just now in the years. Okay. I'll do it again because I would like to keep that note a bit longer, the last one. Yeah, okay. Promise after I won't stop even if I'm not happy. was a piano that I didn't do, and because I got really intense, and then I thought, oh, I forgot there was a piano there, second page, third line, but whatever. If I was practicing it, I would redo that and try to learn it better. Also, there are breathing marks. I try to respect those, but sometimes I remember when I played it before, I changed some because some kind of break the phrase. I have to say that those.
You know, some of those breathing marks are actually meant for you to stop and for the orator to talk.
Oh yeah, that explains a lot because, you know, like
there's words to that piece actually.
Yeah, because second page, you know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth line. You go da da di da da di da 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 di da. It's a bit weird to breathe there, you know. You break it. I would rather breathe 3 lines before the end. That long B flat that's being slurred, like made longer, then I would breathe there. But I wouldn't take the other one. Well, if you play it with a narrator, well, yes, you'll have to stop and let him play, but it won't break a phrase because it will have a logic to it. So maybe some of those breathing marks should be reevaluated, you know. Right now I did them. I might record that, like just a recording of it for the Flute channel, and you might see that I will not necessarily follow those, except if I play it with a narrator, that then we'll see, you know. You can listen to a lot of different versions and see where they breathe, and record yourself, and also see where you are more comfortable breathing. Sometimes it can be interesting, though, to break it, you know. It can be a... like that one, I'm not sure, you know, second page, second line, not sure about this one. But the other one, yes, the one just after that. Some of them, yes, some of them, not so sure, you know. But as Nicolas said, yeah, there's a logic if... Yeah. Some of them are good. Some
people are asking, there are words to this song?
They're not words, but well, it's a story, and there's a narrator that tells a story, but I don't think I've ever heard it played with this.
Someone just found it because somebody just found it 2-3 years ago. The words for it.
Yeah.
It's new. It's very new.
So we might find someone and do it with someone, because they just, it's been found recently, those words that go with the flute music. So maybe it would be interesting to do it, because there's so many versions of Syrinx, but none with the words. So that might be something interesting to do.
So we have 2 questions. We'll get those done, and then that'll be the end. The person's interested in how you choose between the alternate B flat fingering inside there. There's an alternate B flat fingering in there somewhere, in parentheses somewhere. Is there? Because they're wondering. Love to Sing 2008 is wondering.
Well, I don't always take the same fingering for the B flat.
Maybe it's that.
Yeah, when I can. Well, in privileged order. Okay, first I always pick the thumb if I can, but if I can't, because there's a B natural after or something like that, I'm not very good at sliding. I don't like sliding so much. Then I use a little spatula here. You see it? This one. And then if I don't have enough time to put my finger there or whatever, then I use this fingering. That's probably the first one we learn usually, because that's their order of how good they sound, I think. So, and I think acoustically there's a logic to that. So that's how I do it mostly. If I have a trill, I'll use this one. It's a bit lighter, you know, so that's good. But they all sound good. It's all okay. Like for this piece, I mostly use this one because that's what's more easy. So yeah, if I have an F just after, of course I won't use this. You know, that would be illogical. So I hope that answers your question.
And then last question is about. I want to lose. Oh, how can I improve my sound as a flutist? Example: I want to lose the eeriness that I have in my sound sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that visualization technique can help lower things.
Yeah. Well, when I took my flute just now, I thought 5 minutes before we started, I hadn't played much because it was a vacation and I was having fun. And I have fun playing the flute as well, but I was doing other stuff. And what did I do? So I tried to do some long notes piano. Because when you play piano, you have to focus the air a bit more, you know, you have less air to focus. So maybe practice. Start with a note that you think sounds good for you, especially in the piano register, the piano dynamic. And then go from there and keep the same quality of sound and the same way of blowing and the same embouchure as much as you can, and go all the way down and then go back all the way up. That might help. Singing in your flute, using your resonators in your head, using that visualization that nothing is over you, everything's like chest level and lower, you know, nothing over you. And then yeah, and then after that, after doing piano notes, I went and did some loud notes in the low register. Because I want to be able to have my loudest and my softest. And then I did the high register in piano. And I also did harmonics. Harmonics are amazing if you want to improve your sound quality, and sometimes it just brings it back, you know, it kind of helps you focus better. So choose a note that you think, let's say your G natural low register sounds good piano, so start there. Take your time. I'm going a bit fast right now. And you can breathe whenever you need to. It's just about listening to your sound and keeping that same quality. So I hope that helps. Give us some news to see if it helped. That's it? Okay. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please like it and please subscribe if it's not already done. And yeah, see you next time.